Wow, has this not been an incredible event so far? Are you all loving this? I'm loving this. Every event just seems to keep getting better and better and better. We would like to first start. A lot of people have been thanked, so we'll not duplicate all that, although it's in my heart to say it again, but I won't. But I want to thank one person, actually two people, Jerry and Kendra. And I really want to focus on Kendra and thanking you, Kendra, from us. And I think probably everybody in this room feels this way, but I want to say this. For us to invite somebody along on this journey with us and say, hey, link arms with us. You can trust not only us, you can trust this company. We can build this thing called residual income that everybody in network marketing loves to talk about and very few people get to enjoy. Since 50% of companies are out of business in a year, 80% are out of business after 5 years, and something like 96% of all businesses, not just network marketing businesses, all businesses don't even last 10 years. How do you sell residual income when you look someone in the eye and you got a 96% chance that the company's not even going to be in existence to write the checks if they haven't already made it 10 years. But with NeoLife, 50 years, 60 years. And now I was thinking a few years ago, what's the future of the company? And a few years back, when I saw Kendra, along with a lot of other things, pop up from our dining room table in the midst of a conversation and disappear, and I had to turn around and see she's back in our kitchen doing our dishes. Yep. I knew we had a servant leader that we could trust and that we could reach out to and invite people like Jamie Summers and Matt Summers, her husband, onto our team who'd been burned by another company, who had the network marketing taken away from them, about a 3 ruby sized business, yanked out from under them, but we could invite them to come say, join us. You can trust not only us, but you can trust them. And that is something we're celebrating. Our hope for all of you is that, like us, if you don't already do this, that you would get to go to bed with a dream of a better future and wake up with purpose and passion and excitement to do whatever it is you're going to be doing that day. And so we were thinking about what could we share? What do we have to offer in 15 more minutes to you that might be of value? And what is on our heart to share is to share with you really a couple things, but a little bit of our story. And our story, although as you heard Thursday night if you were here, goes back 21 years ago using the products like so many others. We didn't launch our business until 6 years ago, this year, after sitting in a seat like this at a convention in Newport Beach, California, and catching two things. Two things happened for us. And these are the two things we hope happens for you. Number one, we caught a vision of what could be and believed it. Not a dream, pie in the sky, like we saw people on stage like Louis and Laverne, who will stand up here and has multiple times tell you he has dyslexia. And yet see what he's doing, what they are doing, I should say, together. And other people, and just realize if they can do it with their own challenges, why can't we do it with our own challenges? Because we have them too. And so we caught the vision and the belief that we could do it, and we went all in. And I want to explain a little more what all in is here in a minute, because it doesn't mean full time. But we went all in. And those are the two things we desire for each of you that aren't already at that place, I know many of you already are, that you come away with after this event this weekend. Is that right?
That's right.
Because it's worth it.
Yeah. You say we went all in.
Well,
he went all in. I wasn't all in. I was probably about 90% there. And when I say he went all in, get this. So back in 2015, at a convention just like this, the next day he bought 2 non-refundable airline tickets to World Team, which was taking place, NeoLife's World Team, which was taking place in Hawaii. And I could not believe it. I was like, what did you just do? Because we weren't even qualified at director. We had 1,800 QPV. And we only had 2 months to get to 10,000 QPV. I was like, how are we gonna do this? I thought he was crazy. I thought he went through midlife crisis. He was starting midlife crisis. I literally, when we went home after convention, I was Googling midlife crisis, men. I almost bought a book. I was this close to buying a book, and but I didn't. And it was, you know, I remember during that time I felt so insecure because he's my steady Eddie. I'm like, this isn't like you. This is something I would do. But guess what? We qualified and we went to World Team. Thank you. And then when we got there, that is where I caught the vision and where I just remember looking around the room saying, if these people can do it, we can do it. And it was quite embarrassing because Jerry Brassfield was interviewing us. I remember I was so nervous. And I remember saying, the sleeping giant has risen. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what just came out of my mouth? And Allan was like, yes, she's all in. And so I was all in after that.
She was embarrassed. She goes, are people going to think I'm cocky? I'm like, anyone that knows you will know you're not. And when they get to know you, they'll know you're not. So you just caught the vision, and that's what you need.
Yeah, and what was so exciting, the next year we went from Sapphire Director to 3 Ruby. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, and the 12 months that followed, so it just goes to show, and that was part-time. We didn't quit our job. I had my own full-time job, working 50, 60 hours a week, flying back and forth 2 states away to commute to work. She had her own full-time job as a homeschool mother of 6. We had our own careers. It was part-time. But like Del Mar, I just learned today, 16 months, same here. 16 months part-time to go to a full-time income that supported our family of 8. We went full-time 5 years ago, July 2016. And it's been absolutely incredible. And you know, I just wanted to say about all in, that point all in, because that's something I really hope everybody that desires to impact lives and build a business walks away from. I said that already. It doesn't just apply to this business. All in isn't a network marketing thing. It's not a NeoLife thing. In fact, Jen and Matt Case introduced us to some amazing new friend. His name is Billy Austin. He's a very, I don't know if famous is the right word because he keeps himself so low key, but a very well-known songwriter in Nashville. He's made millions writing songs. He's about 60 years old. We got to spend some time out on his boat a couple weeks ago with Matt and Jen and their family. And I, like I love to do, was asking questions. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your story. How'd you do this? How'd you get into this? Now he's a pilot. He flies jets. He owns lake homes. He owns real estate. He's very successful. I said, tell me more about your story. And I won't tell you his whole story, but here's what I will tell you. He said, I came to Nashville at 24 years old. My dream, to make it in music, like so many in Nashville. There's so much talent there that never makes it, but they stay because it's a great place to live. And he said, I found myself at 34, and how many of you can relate with this in some way? I found myself at 34 in business with a partner, writing jingles for Coca-Cola, making over 10 grand a month. Back then, that was pretty good money, 30, 40 years ago, still good money today. A lot better money even then, okay? So he was making great money, a couple $100,000 a year, probably in today's dollars or more. He said, and I didn't want to be the jingles between the country music songs. I wanted to be the country music songs between the jingles. And I'm 34 years old and I wasn't where I wanted to be. I walked into my partner's office and I said, here you go, the business is yours, you can have it. I'm out. I'm gonna go find the best guitar that sounds the best, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna go buy a boat, I'm going out in the middle of the lake, I'm gonna sit on the boat, I'm gonna play the guitar, I'm gonna write a song, and I'm gonna write until I write a hit song. I said, how long did it take you? He said, I had the song written in 2 hours, Little Big Town had it recorded within 11 days later. And that's how his career really launched. And on that point, I just want to say, and Lawrence addressed this so well yesterday, awesome talk, Lawrence. I heard raving reviews about it. Thank you. And thank you, Louis, for yours as well. Very much appreciated. Is, you know, all in isn't full time. All in is right here, okay? All in is usually part time for most of us, and it was for us. But it's a commitment. It's that we're going to do it and we're going to succeed until. And for some people, like Jen and Matt Case, they're gonna hit World Team in the first 6 months. And other people, it's gonna take years. And that's okay, Because as Dwight has said before, we, and as others have said it, we overestimate what we could do in a year and underestimate what we can do with some consistency over 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. But don't make the mistake that time in and of itself is going to get you there, because 5 years will pass and 10 years will pass and 20 years will pass, and you'll never get there without being all in and taking consistency and believing that you can.
Yep.
And I will say this, the benefits are worth it. Am I right?
The benefits are so worth it.
And that's why we don't want anyone to quit.
And so I'm so excited to show you all the benefits.
We want to share with you some of these benefits real quick. Nicole's got something here.
Okay, let me see. This is going to take a while.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So
Babe,
I'll start with number 1.
I think this might take a little too much time. We're down to 7 minutes.
Okay.
I don't think we have time for all of this.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think it's too much.
Okay.
But I think we have time to share with them really quickly the top 10 reasons. I mean, all these reasons are reasons we went all in. There's not one on here that doesn't apply to us. But let's just share with them the top 10.
Okay.
Why we chose this business. Why we chose this business 6 years ago, and why we keep choosing it today. Because like you, we had options 6 years ago. Everyone in this room has options. We have even more options today than we did 6 years ago. So we have to keep choosing this business, or not. And we choose to keep choosing it daily. So let's share with them why.
Okay.
Top 10 reasons.
Well,
what do you think?
Number 1, time freedom, of course, right? We get to spend more rich, meaningful time together, which I love because I'm a quality time girl, and with our children as well.
Okay, well, I would say number 2 is we chose this business so that we can work with our family. And you might think, yeah, well, we've got 4 of our 6 children here with us. That sort of like work with our kids when they're little. Sort of. But even more so, work with our family when they're grown. See, this is the kind of business, people talk about being able to pass it down generations, and that's a super cool benefit. There's examples of that in this room. But what I think is cool about this is, all right to step on your paper. What I think is cool about this is that every child of ours has the opportunity to partner with us, and we don't have to have issues of who gets paid what salary and who gets to move out of state and stay in business and work remotely and who needs to stay and man the shop. And you see what I'm saying? Like, it is full freedom. Any adult business, any adult child can be in business with us now. Many of them are, some aren't. That can be every one of theirs plan B. We're there for them, and the business is there for them forever, you know, as long as we're around, and that's super cool. That was reason number 2. And these are in no particular order. In fact, they're out of order if we had to prioritize them.
Yeah. So number 3 is health is wealth. So we get to get healthy while doing this business, which I absolutely love. And it seems like my vitamin list or my supplement list is just growing. I don't know if anyone's watched me take my supplements, but I'm like, oh, now I get to, every time we step up, now I get to take this and this. I think I take everything now. But.
Yeah, I think so too. Number 4, geographic freedom.
Yep.
We've always been adventurous. I mean, we grew up in California. We've lived 6 years in Georgia. We went back to California for a year. We've been in Washington State for 9, and now Nashville, Tennessee for 3. But even if we weren't, I think it's pretty cool to have a business that if God says, hey, go here and do that, we can just go here and do that. Like, we're not locked down to anything. And I love that about this business. That's 4.
Okay. Number 5, you get to become a better version of yourself, also known as personal growth and development. You get to become a better wife, husband, friend, better coach, which in turn helps you impact others in a big way, and it blesses you.
Yep. Number 6, this community. And not just this community, which is a representation, a small representation of the community we're all a part of here in North America and beyond. We have some of the best friends, not only in this room, but all around the country, all around the world, within our team, without our team, outside our team maybe better said, all over Europe, all over Africa. It's crazy. And this is an introverted, shy guy that was happy just having my own little bubble of a life, working my 40, 50 hours a week and fishing on the weekends and just not thinking any bigger than that. That's the perspective I came from not that many years ago. So we love being a part of the community and getting to invite others into it.
Yes. And number 7, doing something so meaningful. Our purpose in this business is to help others discover their full potential. Every person in this room has so much untapped, unlimited, God-given potential in this room. And it's so fun, this business. Every year I'm discovering, oh my goodness, thank you, God, I have this gift I never knew I had. So it's so fun. So fun growing.
What are we on, number 9, number 8? Number 8.
8, yeah.
This arguably is my favorite. If I was gonna prioritize, this might be number 1. It'd be hard to choose. I love the ability to look at anybody in the eye and tell them, you have a 100% chance of changing your life. You have a 100% chance. We were talking about investments earlier, somebody the other day. We make a lot of investments in real estate and different things. There is no guarantee of anything and anything you invest in monetarily. But in this business, 100% success rate. I don't care what your ability is, what your disability is, what your age. I mean, there's people in here in their 80s, maybe 90s, launching businesses. Our 18-year-old daughter built a director-sized business 5 months into her senior year of high school. I mean, it's just, there's no end. I mean, anybody can do this if you don't quit. If you don't quit, you have a 100% chance success rate. And I love offering that to anybody I meet. There's nothing else I know of that I could offer someone a 100% success rate of changing their life. And I absolutely love that.
Yes. Number 9, constantly serving and giving to others, which is a recipe to happiness and fulfillment, which is also good for your health, believe it or not.
That's right. And as Dwight also says, we don't have to, number 10, we don't have to retire to expire. The old Allan's mindset was all about retirement. The old Allan's mindset before NeoLife was all about do my time. 30 years in the CHP and retire at 90% of what wasn't enough, 100% wasn't enough in the first place. And I'm gonna be happy on 90% of that. Come on, Allan, let's go. Let's impact some lives. Let's do something bigger with our life. And you look at statistically, what happens when people retire? If they don't have something else to be purposeful about. And a lot of people retire from a lot of careers and do something else purposeful and live a very healthy, happy life without NeoLife. I'm not saying it has to be NeoLife, but I love knowing we're so excited and passionate about what we're doing. I don't care. Why would I want to retire from this? What's to retire from? Never want to retire. The pace will slow, I'm sure, but that's okay. It can. We've slowed it for the last 2 months while we're building a home. And by the way, had our best month ever last month. How does that happen in any other business? It's pretty exciting, but we have a purpose and we have a passion. Again, we go to bed with a dream, we wake up with a purpose, and that is what we wish for every single one in this room. Why? Because it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. And again, just to summarize, the 2 things we hope in closing that everybody, I know many of you probably already have these things, but that you walk away from this convention with is not more head knowledge, although that's great if you do. I learned some, scientists, you guys killed it today. This was amazing, and yesterday was great. Anyway, but we hope you walk away with a vision going, I can do this, and I'm going to do this. I'm gonna go all in and make it happen. Anything I forgot?
That's it.
All right, thanks for letting us talk. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.